Hi, all. Can you hear me? It's Wednesday, December 18th. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'm in here. Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Please let me know. Oh, yay. I'm so glad. Okay. I'll be right back. I will be right back. Some are hearing me, some are. Hi. Hey, Jen Benners. Hi, everyone. I will be right back now that I know I have sound. I just have to grab a couple of things. Thank you. Can you still hear me when I put that up? Can you still hear me when I put that saying up about Sebastian? Perfect. I will be right back now. I was messing with the sound, so now that I've got you, give me one moment. Thank you all for being here. I will be right back. Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad we're back and running. I don't know what happened last night. Our sound shut off in mid-show, so I'm ready to continue on, plus bring some other things to you. Hello, Sam R. and Rhonda Moses. Busy Mama. Oop, my messages. Hi, NJ's. Reserve Glitchin. Christy Baird. Lori 626. Little Red Zero. Karen. Busy Mama. Gypsy. Hello. Lisa B. Always. Good to see all of you here. I have new socks on. I love that name. Is it cold in Virginia right now? I have new socks on. I'm still warm in Arizona. I had to turn on my air conditioning for about 15 minutes just to cool the house off. Jabberjaws, good to see you. Hi, Terry Harmon, Queen CC, Gina Ponte 08, Paper 04 Man 1. Hi, Christine Alaska. We've got audio. We have sound. Now, I did hear that there were other channels that sound got cut out yesterday and the day before, so I don't believe it was mine. God's Girl 1971, good to have you. All my mods, thank you for being here. Gma, NJ's, Jen Benners, Little Red Zero. All my members, thank you for being here. I see many members in the house. Family members, don't forget, 1 p.m. Saturday. We are going to meet as a family, members only. Hi, Robin. Yeah, what am I hearing about all this? I'm hearing that that things are on the rocks a little bit, allegedly. Hi, girly girl. Carolyn Miller. Hi, True Crime Addict. Hello, hello. Maria Cariella. Hello. Sorry about that, Cariello. Good to see all of you. If I have not said welcome to you personally, I apologize. I'm so appreciative each and every one of you is here. I truly am. It's really nice to be able to come as a community and be with a community that really cares about Sebastian, talks about Sebastian, and we keep our focus on Sebastian. We are here for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers this evening. We are also going to be discussing another situation that is shocking about a father who reported his child missing. And when he was on Nancy Grace Live, she announced to him they had found the child. This was 11 days later. And she told him they found him in his basement while he was live with Nancy Grace. Can you imagine? You should see the act he puts on. And we're going to watch that. So I wanted to read this to you. Someone had sent me an article, you know who you are, about, and thank you, about Sebastian Rogers and the Proudfoots and Seth and Katie. And it was all inaccurate information. Just, it said Katie was a nurse, you know, they had several kids together. Hi, Austin. And it was ridiculous, the amount of misinformation that was in this article. But one thing it did have was what I have posted up here. And it was just, it really hit home. And as we all gather every evening, hey, CB, as we all gather in the evenings and we talk about Sebastian, I really wanted to. Now, Kathy, I do have sound tonight. So Kathy doesn't have sound. Hi, Women's Warrior. You were in much earlier today. Or you were in about an hour ago. I saw that. Thank you for being here, all of you. But anyway, so the article was all misinformation. She's a nurse. They have several kids, including a daughter, and it was all misinformation. But what it did have is this quote or this saying, and I really thought it was a good impact for us to talk about and really think about why we're here. And it says, Sebastian Rogers is more than just a missing person. He is a son, a brother, I guess we could say stepbrother. He is a son, a brother, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, and a friend. He is a person with autism, but also with dreams, talents, and passions. He is a person who matters, who deserves to be happy and safe. He is a person who needs to be found. I just absolutely love that. I just absolutely love that. I thought it was just really gets us to think, you know, Sebastian as the real young man that he is, who is lost in this world. Okay. And I want to read it one more time because I just love it. Sebastian Rogers is more than just a missing person. He is a son, a stepbrother, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, and a friend. He is a person with autism, but also with dreams, talents, and passions. He is a person who matters, who deserves to be happy and safe. He is a person who needs to be found. And I just love that. And I want to thank each and every one of you who is part of, we're all part of Sebastian's army. And we have been here, my goodness, how long? Almost 10 months that this young man has been missing. And we think about how long that 10 months has been, that we're almost approaching a year. And we start thinking about the things we were doing when we first heard about this, right? And we think about how long this has felt. Now imagine how long this feels for Sebastian. Hello, Cinderella. Thank you. Ooh, chicken breast, broccoli, mashed potatoes smothered in mozzarella cheese. Oh my goodness. Are we doing dinners tonight? Okay, I was going to say what show are you binging on, but we can do dinners. Everyone go ahead and put something in the chat tonight that they had. I haven't had my dinner yet, but I'll put my lunch. Everyone put down what you had for dinner or lunch. You do live, Reba Thompson, you live close to Sumner County, and I want to tell you something. I have a new theory. Oh, sorry, put the wrong one up. I broadcasted Women's Warrior that you don't like cheese. Yes, thank you to all our new members. Please remember Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a great time. Terry Harmon had chicken tacos. Smack Talker made catfish. Ooh, Christina Alaska had steak fajitas. Grandma had tuna salad, which is cooling. Lisa B always had a cheeseburger. Avondale Mama had a veggie plate, which she has once a week. No, they have not found him, hon. They have not found him. I'm always hungry with you all talking about food. I didn't have dinner yet, but for lunch, I had a shrimp cocktail and spinach dip with pita bread. Ham roll for NJs. Yes, please hit that like button as you come in. Ooh, meatloaf sandwich from last night. Meow. There's nothing like leftovers. Robin had sushi. Rhonda Moses had cereal. Woman's Wear, you had Savaloy dip. What is Savaloy dip? Rhonda Moses, my favorite bedtime snack is cereal. I love cereal. Paper 4-man 1, we had ham, potatoes, and a tossed salad. Busy Mama had Mexican. Stacy had a healthy choice. Stacy Michelle had a healthy choice. Ooh, chicken and dumplings Gypsy made. She said, everyone is sick and this is our cure. That's an amazing cure. Sky Maiden had burritos with chicharrones and hot chili. Yum. Lori 626, steak, baked potato, salad, and bread. My goodness. At home, Lori, or out? Senior B had a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches. I have new socks on. She had a chicken pot pie and was thankful for it. You know, that food, chicken pot pies, I think take us all back to our childhood, don't they? I remember when my parents would go out and leave us with a babysitter, we'd get chicken pot pies heated up a lot, made. Olive Garden, oh my goodness, that's my favorite. You had the ravioli and the soup, yum yum. Queen Cece had spiral ham rolls, broccoli and cheese, and mashed potatoes. My goodness, you all eat great meals. Tina Edwards had beef roast with carrots and potatoes. Carolyn Miller made homemade chili with broccoli, cheese, rice, aroni. Yum. You all are making me hungry. Starlito had lasagna, salad, and garlic bread. Cornish hen for Karen Vondreski. Wow. Oh, Laura Y, I checked today. There has not been an update on the body found in the landfill. And I'm glad you said that because we will look that up together. Just because I checked it this morning and yesterday. It was 6 days ago yesterday, I think, it must have been yesterday when I checked 6 days ago. And they said there were still no other updates. And 6 days ago, they had the landfill closed. So one thing I was going to do today was call to see if they were back up and open, but I did not do that. I'll be honest, I forgot. So I will call and see if they're back up and open and what's going on there. So, but no updates as of now. We can check it again before we get off of here. They did not find him, Tangle. Are you referring to Sebastian or the boy from the thumbnail that we're going to talk about that they found and the dad knew about it? But no, Sebastian Rogers has not been found. And that reminds me, I do want to show you when I'm sharing X. There's a photo I want to share with you. Okay. So welcome in. Let me see if there's any other food on here. Barbecue, a granola bar. Everyone ate on their way home. You must be a little hungry, right, Little Red Zero? You only had a granola bar. Barbecue ribs, pinto beans, mashed potatoes, and fritter patties. What is a fritter patty? I love learning all these different foods. You're sorry you don't think he's hidden in my opinion? Renee Marie, you don't ever have to apologize for your opinion in this community. We love to hear each other's reasonings when we disagree because we learn from that and we take pieces, right? So thank you for letting us know that. Jen had a healthy choice, max protein meal, chicken lemon pepper or something. Bornahoni, love the name. Taco salad with all the works. Refried beans on the side to dips, chips. Yum. Happy holidays, everyone. And happy holidays back to you. Chinese for Tam here. Okay, cauliflower tacos. Are you a vegetarian, Camille? I have a child who's a vegetarian, so we do a lot of cauliflower and stuff. I love cereal too. Chicken and dumplings sounds wonderful. Okay, well, let's go ahead. Homemade SOS. What is SOS? Frank, what's SOS? A few Pringles. Everything sounds good. Pot stickers so far. When I get off of here, depending on how I think this is going to be a later live. I was deciding between making a little ground beef, diced chilies and diced tomatoes, maybe put it over a little pasta, but it depends the time. Yes, I had shrimp cocktail for lunch. If you go to Safeway here, they bundle up like some shrimp cocktail and the sauce and a lemon, and it's only $5. Mac salad and seafood salad, yum. Deer chili and cornbread. Okay, Hunter's in the house, right? Tangle, I don't know why not. I don't know why not. I hope we're getting close, my friend. We all feel this. We're all asking that same question, and more so than us is Seth. Burrito casserole with so much cheese, I'm feeling like a slug. You love cereal, Jen, but can't eat it? Okay, barbecue boneless chicken wings, fries, and Mountain Dew soda. Homemade beef stew and homemade biscuits, pork and white rice. Yum. Marie Callender's chocolate pie. Yes, it's nice, Smack Talker, when you can get fresh shrimp from the ocean. I'm not near the ocean. Everyone be kind. Thank you, Little Red Zero. Let's all be kind with what we say. A family member could be in our chat. We want to be respectful and consider their feelings. Thank you so much. And yes, we do have family members who come through. And one thing that Seth doesn't like to, it's hard for Seth when he comes through and people are talking about Sebastian not being with us anymore. That's one thing that really hurts him. Chicken Alfredo bake. Ooh, Savoy is a sausage. I had it in a sandwich with peas, pudding, stuffing, and gravy. Oh my. Yum. Thank you, Misty, for letting me know. Oh, dose. Okay, well, let's see. I'll read a couple more. Great to see everyone here tonight. Oh, we have a new member. Welcome to the family, Paper 04 Man 1. Everyone, please welcome Paper 04 Man 1 to the family. We have a great time Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Hello to all. Welcome, welcome. We are here this evening. Hi, Dreaming of Blue Skies. Thank you for being here. Everyone, all my mods, you do such a fabulous job. You keep everyone. Hey, Misty Fisher. You keep everyone so nice, and everyone comes in so nice in this community. And I really appreciate that. We have great conversations. We agree to disagree when we need to. Hello, Teresa Beavers and Karen. Karen, you made corn chowder. Yum. Hi, TWY. Yay, we're glad you're here and caught alive. Yes, please don't get your feelings hurt if you have a message that you forgot to put in my opinion or allegedly and it gets taken off. It's not because we're being rude. We're protecting you, me, us, all of us. Okay. And We appreciate everything, all the comments, but we do have to protect us all. I was lazy tonight, threw together peanut butter sandwiches, and I know it's unhealthy, but ramen noodles with lots of veggies. Yum, yum. Sometimes we got to do those quick ones, right? My title, my name is Jay, Dick. Dick Haynes, my name is Jay. Let's see here. Okay. It's 1:46 a.m. Women's Warrior. Well, bless you for being here. You'll make banana custard. That's so cute. Hi, Miriam M. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. So good to see all of you here. If I haven't said hello personally, I forgive me. I extend a welcome and a hello to all of you. We are here for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as fact. My my words are opinions, speculation, theory, as well as the chat. They are also theorizing and speculating and alleging. No one is being accused. These are all alleged statements to not to be taken as fact, but for entertainment purposes only. We are going to begin with what I had on our thumbnail, which was about shocking, actually, and one of you sent it to me and it was great. Thank you so much. About Nancy Grace doing an interview. I see my StreamYard Wi-Fi, but my home Wi-Fi is strong as ever, but my StreamYard Wi-Fi is at one tiny little bar, just to let y'all know. So I wonder if it was StreamYard yesterday. I'm now at 2 bars. Okay, there. So where was I? Oh, Nancy Grace was doing an interview, and this was a while ago. I think it was about 10 years ago. And on her show, she had a father who had reported his son missing. And it was like day 11. And while the father's on live, she announces they have found the child in his basement. Okay. And he puts on quite an act. And I want to share it with you because I just, we know that X had put some updates, that they feel about, we had updates on X saying, whoever's hiding Sebastian. So we know that they believe he's being hidden and not in Tennessee. Okay. And so it just made me start thinking, when I saw this and the person who sent it to me said, could this be Sebastian too? Right. So I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to mute myself and share this video with you. Thank you all for being here. This is credit to HLN, who is showing Nancy Grace, who is credit for the interview. For fair use, which I also have scrolling across the bottom.
Father of the missing 12-year-old boy, Charlie. With me is his father, Charlie Bothell. Charlie, we're getting reports that your son has been found in your basement. Sir? Mr. Bothell, are you
What?
Yeah, we are getting reports that your son has been found alive in your basement.
What?
Yes, that's what, if you could hand me that wire very quickly. Yeah, we're getting that right now from how could your son be alive in your basement?
Oh, shit. I have no idea.
Now, this is just a report that we are hearing out of Detroit that we're trying to confirm.
God,
everybody
please.
in New York, please get on it. Let me know when we get Charlie Langton from WWJ. Sir, did you check your basement?
I checked my basement. The FBI checked my basement. The Detroit police checked my basement. My wife checked my basement. I've been down there several times. We've all been checking. How?
Okay, this is what we are hearing, that the missing 12-year-old boy has been found alive and well in his father's basement. Now, this is what I don't understand why you guys would have reported he's missing, and all our viewers have been on the lookout for him.
Great performance he's putting on, right? Can you imagine being live and hearing this? I'll be back.
We've been on the lookout for him. We searched that entire house repeatedly. The FBI searched, the Detroit police searched. We've all searched. Oh, God, they brought dogs, everything. Everybody is searched. What? Okay, my son.
Have you checked your cell phone?
My cell phone is dead. I actually getting down here, I left it in the car charging because it had died on me. Okay.
And you're telling us that you searched your basement and your wife searched your basement.
I searched my basement. My wife searched my basement. The FBI searched my basement. The Detroit police searched my basement. We've all searched my basement multiple times. Yes. They had the dog search. We've all searched the basement. The dog searched my basement. Oh, God.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance to call home and see what you can find out. Charlie Langton, WWJ News. Charlie, we're getting reports tonight that the boy has been found alive in Daddy's basement.
Yeah, Nancy, we're just getting word right now, and we've just basically confirmed that, yeah, the boy has been found alive in the father's basement. And we're just getting reports right now that is true. And literally, it just broke moments ago. Now, why the father didn't know about that for the last 11 days, what if the child was afraid, if there was any other collusion amongst anyone, what the child ate, all of those are questions that we are trying to get reports on right now. We understand that we're sending news crews right now to the scene. We're also understanding that the police chief is going to make yet another announcement that should be coming up a little bit later on. But yes, the boy has been found alive in his father's basement.
Charlie.
Struggling with complicated content and editing software? I was too. Riverside really simplified things.
Something else, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine that happening? Thank goodness the child was alive. Yes. So this man and his wife reported their son missing, and I'm going to read you the article. And oops, sorry. Hold on, let me turn off that. This is that's the next presser that I want to share with you. So and then on day 11, he was on Nancy Grace. And while he's on Nancy Grace, breaking news to Nancy that they found the child in the basement. And I was, Gypsy, I don't think that he thought they were, I'll read you the article. It was, I believe, abuse. Like he would strike the child with a PVC pipe, and there were marks on his chest, allegedly. I'll read, not allegedly, it happened. I'll read it all to you guys. And the reason I'm playing this is because I someone sent it to me, and it was just so shocking to watch it. But the fact that it happened on, can you imagine the odds that you've done something nefarious? And are there marks on his wrists? I don't know if there's whose wrists. Oh, very bad actor. Yes, he's like, oh, oh, you know, and then he starts going, yes, yes. So he should have gotten up and left immediately. Hi, Tony. How are you? So just shocking to me that is, happened. And what are the odds? This parent's up to something nefarious and is trying to run it off as a missing child, right? And gets caught. They find him right while he's on Nancy Grace, and he's live. Just craziness. That's funny. Tony said, we know it. Tony said, I'm not going to read it out loud. Said, is that CP? Yeah, craziness. So, crazy happens. Crazy happens. And, we just don't know. We're not the investigators. We care, and we're looking, and we're thinking. Are you calm now, Jen Benners? Okay, well, let's watch the presser. Because I just thank you to the person who sent this to me this morning. And welcome in, Tony Mathis. Thank you for being here.
He could not have erected this little hiding place by himself.
In my judgment, based on what was described, I didn't see what it looked like prior to my arrival, but there's no way he could have erected this makeshift area of concealment, I'll call it. He certainly was excited to see us. I had a chance to actually talk and embrace Charlie. Very excited to see us. I mean, this is a great story.
It really is a great story, because just earlier today, you folks said that you had not ruled out that he could be a victim of a homicide. So what does this mean in terms of the investigation? Are the parents now being questioned? What's happening next?
Well, what it means is, first of all, let me just applaud the work of the investigators. We had a collaborative, the FBI, state police, DPD, all working together diligently, very thorough. And this was, in fact, the fourth time we've been to this location. And one of our visits, we came with a cadaver dog. So we're not certain that Charlie was here doing those visits, not certain at all. Because the question I would have, how could we miss? Certainly we know when there's a missing and we go into a family home, we check places that children can hide. Sometimes if children are afraid, they will hide and conceal themselves. But for whatever reason, I don't know what it looked like the first several visits, but certainly this time, the detective who was in that area thought something was strange and began to moving, and Charlie didn't alert his presence.
It was
Charlie
only when you found him.
It was only, and you could see that he was nervous but excited and glad to see the police.
Describe his condition. What was his condition? Like, did he look like he was hungry or what?
Well, he indicated he was hungry. Certainly, I saw evidence that there was food around the area where he was hiding. But he seemed to be both nervous and excited. In terms of his medical condition, he's being medically evaluated now. So I don't know what the doctors are going to find during that examination, but he appeared fine when I saw him.
And Chief,
what about his parents?
Live on Local 4. Talk about that moment when the investigators came in contact with Charlie. How did he respond? What did he say?
Excitement. I don't know his exact words. I guess you could describe it as nervousness, excitement. He made some statements that I wasn't there then, but certainly lots of excitement to see us.
What did the parents
Talk
say?
about the parents.
Yes, the parents know.
His parents aren't here right now, correct?
That's correct.
The father told us he was going to go and do an interview with Nancy Grace a little while ago. The mother, once we told her that you guys were looking into the possibility of a homicide, the stepmother, I should say, she took off. Is there any reason to believe that some adult had to know Charlie was in that house?
I will tell you, we're not ruling that out. it would be hard for me to sit here and tell you that someone didn't know that Charlie was there. But I can't say definitively.
Chief, you
And again,
described this area that was barricaded that even looked like someone had put food there. You said Charlie could not have erected this barricade himself.
there's no way in my judgment. I can't see how he could have. We're talking about a 5-gallon drum. We're talking about a 12-year-old child. Certainly, I don't see how he could have done it.
Describe the environment where he was at.
He was in the basement. Certainly there was some bedding. It appeared to be some kind of wooden, looked like a wooden stand that was nearby the area where Charlie was at. And then the drum, by the time I arrived at the location, the drum had been moved by the investigators.
And you all don't believe that he had been there the entire time, because you all searched this, but police searched this home several times.
Four times.
But today, that's when you all found the barricade in the basement.
But we're not certain that he was there each and every time. As I pointed out, I think what's telling is that we had a cadaver dog go into the location. And
the cadaver dog found nothing?
Found nothing.
Chief, for people that are just tuning in right now, kind of bring everybody up to speed on what happened. We know that 12-year-old Charlie, who's been missing for a week and a half, has been found alive in the very basement of the house where he was last.
Well, the cadaver dogs wouldn't react, in my opinion, because he wasn't deceased, correct? So this happened 10 years ago. He was on Nancy Grace on June 25th, 2014 live, and she got a call that the child had been found in his basement in Detroit, Michigan. Oh my goodness. Hit that thumbs up. More than half of you have not. Come on, y'all. Wow, thank you, Caroline Miller. Yeah, that's why the cadaver dogs didn't hit. Why is he's saying that like, yeah, we had cadaver dogs. Well, I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying I wondered why he thought that, because the child was alive. And no, I'm not sure he is, NJs. I'm going to read you an article after we watch a few more minutes of this. And then I'm going to, thank you, Busy Mama. Then I'm going to, I'll read the article after we listen to a little bit more of the details. It's just crazy.
Scene here. Bring everybody up to speed.
Charlie's alive. Charlie's excited, and we're excited. We're as excited as Charlie. In fact, Charlie wanted to meet me, and I promised Charlie that once he gets through this part of the ordeal, we're certainly he's gonna visit the chief's office.
Did you notify and tell where he's found, Chief? Where he was found? Have the parents been notified?
I can't go into the notification. I'm not certain. I came here for one specific reason. I wanted to see, and I wanted to touch Charlie.
And he was
Does it appear that Charlie has been a victim of abuse?
I'm sorry.
He was hiding in the basement, but not in a way where you think he could have done it himself.
That's my judgment, my opinion, based on what I saw, but I can't be sure. I mean, we're talking about a 5-gallon drum, and so not certain.
But Chief, based on what you saw, does he appear to be a victim of abuse? Was he bruised? Was he?
I didn't examine Charlie. That's the medical professionals will do that. Certainly, he was talkative. He was excited. I didn't do an examination, so I can't.
Chief, since finding Charlie, have you had a chance to have a conversation with his parents about you finding him?
I have not. And I am not certain that the investigators, they may have made contact with the parents. I would hope that the father, who is now doing a show on Nancy Grace, that someone would interrupt the show and advise him that the location you just left, your home, your son was downstairs.
And the mom has disappeared. Do you not find this a little odd?
I find a lot of things odd, but, my opinion doesn't count at this point. But the one thing I will say, I'm excited that Charlie is alive.
Chief, we know the biological mother has never been considered a person of interest in this case. We're talking about Charlie lives in that house with his dad and his stepmother. What happens with them at this point? Where do your investigators go with them when they actually return to the house?
It depends. Certainly, if we, through the course of our investigation, determine that there's evidence of child abuse, and our investigation will take a turn in that direction. But
terrible, isn't it? Just, Miriam M., I just cannot believe, just imagine that being busted live stream. That's just, hi, Angel Mama. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Better late than never. And I'll give you your pass. And we have 5 gifted memberships from our dear mod and member, NJs. If you receive a family membership, please thank NJs. And I saw the thank yous already going through. So thank you so much, NJs. That's very generous. We have a good time together on Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern. Last Saturday, we got to know each other, spent some time talking. Other times we get to talking the case and things come up and we start going down and figuring things out. We have a good time. So don't forget 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And I have a tardy slip to Angel Mama. I got to get myself a little setup for that. So we have that ready to go. Miss Misty, will you remind me of that? Thank you. Okay, so let me read to you the article, just because the boy was hidden, which freaks me out. The dad was caught on live, and quite the actor he was. Stepmom took off. Okay, and yes, whoever mentioned Gannon, that was his stepmother as well. And I do want to go over that case. You know, I've never gone over that case. I'm going to write that down when I'm on break. We'll do Gannon Stouch because that's a step parent involved as well. I've covered Kyron Horman, who's a step parent also, who is the only person of interest but they've never been able to charge her, and he is still missing. Cutest little boy in the world. So Angel Mama, I think I sent it to you. I sent you a tardy slip. You are just okay, and we are glad to have you. So I'm going to read you what happened to the father, and it's shocking. And it's just, I pray for Kyron all the time, Renee. Bring Sebastian home. Bring him home. Bring him home. Yeah. So let me go ahead and share this. And by the way, his charges aren't a lot, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, he grabbed his chest. Oh, Fred Sanford, I love it. Cinderella. That's awesome. Hey, June. Okay. You worked that case too, Caroline Miller. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. When you say work that case, do you mean here on YouTube, or do you jump into cases in other avenues and arenas? Thank you. That's what I was planning on doing, Rhonda Moses, pulling it up on Zillow. It's a small door in the master bedroom in the wall. Thank you for letting me know. I'm taking note of it. Okay, so let me let you read to you this article. Okay, this is the sentencing of the father. And this happened, he was found on June 25th, 2014. This is from the Detroit Free Press credit. Dad sentences case of boy found in Detroit basement. The father of a Detroit boy found in his basement 11 days after he was reported missing in 2014 pleaded guilty today to misdemeanor child abuse and was given probation. Wow. Charlie Boothel IV, 47 of Detroit, was sentenced to 18 months of probation and anger management classes. He's also ordered to have no contact with his son, the victim, according to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. The boy was 12 when he was reported missing in June 2014. After he was found, allegations emerged that the father subjected him to physical and psychological abuse, including an extreme exercise routine at the residence on the 1300 block of Nicolette Place. It says, boy found in basement testifies, I was afraid. Boothel was charged with torture and 2 counts of felony child abuse. On Tuesday, Boothel took a plea agreement to 4th-degree child abuse, a misdemeanor, according to the prosecutor's office. His wife, that's stepmama, Monique Dillard Boothel, also had been charged in the case, but records of the case have disappeared from Wayne County Circuit Court's online database, and the prosecutor's office declined to comment on it. The criminal charges against the father were filed nearly a year ago and set for trial at least twice. In light of everything that's happened to the young victim, we thought this was an appropriate resolution of the case for him to be able to go on with his life, prosecutor's office spokeswoman Maria Miller said. Law enforcement, including the Detroit police and the FBI, had been in the home and basement multiple times before the boy was located behind boxes on June 25, 2014, during a search. His father, who had reported him missing, found out during a live television broadcast that his son had been found. Defense attorneys had said the boy wanted to lose weight and was on board with working out, and maintained he made up the story about being in the basement the whole time. Oh my goodness. The boy, who is not being identified by the Free Press, previously testified that he was disciplined by his father with a plastic PVC that left marks on his chest and buttocks. So he got probation. 18 months of probation, no jail time, and anger management classes. But thank goodness he doesn't see his son. What's wrong? What happened, Angel Mama? Yes, he did, Kendall, like the motor oil. What's going on? Wait, hold on. I don't know what made them go back to the house. That's a great question, dear aunt, because they had already been in that basement 4 times. I don't know what we're talking about, Angel Mama, but I want to know who had. Yes, he should have been, and so should have the stepmother. Yes, absolutely, I agree. CPS needs to step it up. Ooh, shrimp had celery with cream cheese and olives, pistachio pudding with pineapple, Cool Whip, marshmallows, nuts, and cherries. That's your dessert. Lots of cookies. Ooh. Okay. Yes, Women's Warrior. We need a petition to stop sending them to anger management. They need perpetrator program. As they choose to harm, they have control. Well said. Yes, NJs. All these children being hurt. Sorry, y'all, I forgot to put your messages up. Sorry, Women's Warrior, I didn't put yours up. All these children being hurt, and worse, what is happening to our humanity? Yes, yes, yes. And so that leads into our sweet, hold on, let me mute. I'm back. Hi, Charlotte. How are you? We are going to, this transitions me over into Sebastian. And just thinking about, because, and as we said, this is entertainment purposes only, my opinions, my thoughts, my theories. You formulate your own theories, please do your own research. But the fact, it often seems like there's a oftentimes a step parent involved, and this step parent ran. They did not do jail time, or he did not. No, the records disappeared regarding the step parent. And I just wanted to share that with you because he was hidden in plain sight and not being treated right, abuse. Thank goodness he cannot be around the child anymore, right? So, and I just think it was an important article to learn about, in my opinion, because in this day and age, we have so many parents who falsely report their child missing when their child isn't missing, whether the child, whatever the case may be, you know, sold, sold or deceased, or an accident cover up or whatever, and they report them missing. And then there's also the problem of, parents who don't report the children missing, like Harmony Montgomery, Oakley Carlson, Cody Bigsby, kids that were not reported missing. And I really think that really started over COVID times. It just became rampant. So we are going to start talking about Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian is 16 years old. He was reported missing when he was 15 years old on Monday, February 26th, 2024, about 6:33 a.m. And out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Sebastian is 5'5". At the time he went missing, 120 pounds. Wears rectangular glasses, dark, dirty blonde, brown hair, hazel or green or brown eyes. Sebastian loves to play chess. He loves music. He loves to dance. He absolutely loves Minecraft. And he has not been spotted in any way, shape, or form. The last proof of life of Sebastian is leaving the Texas Roadhouse at 6:24 p.m. on February 25th, Sunday, 2024. Yes, please say in my opinion. Everyone, thank you so much for being so respectful in the chat. So, where is Sebastian? He's not on footage. There have been no sightings. Nothing that we know of that's been confirmed found of his. There is no tips that are leading directly to him. There is no scent leading from the home. He was not even seen on any cameras in the neighborhood. Allegedly, he walked out the front door in the middle of the night in his bare feet without a coat. No plan. Took nothing. I find that very interesting because he's a chess player. So he strategizes. He thinks about his moves before he makes them, and he knows what the next moves are coming. That's how he thinks. If he's a chess player, and as CP said, he even is known to beat grown men. So he's good. Okay. So, question is, excuse me, I'm sorry. Question is, where is Sebastian Rogers and what happened to Sebastian? Is Sebastian somewhere? And the reason I say hidden, and it ties to the article we just saw, is because there was an update at one point talking about the people who are hiding Sebastian. Okay. They do believe Sebastian's alive, and they do believe he is not in Tennessee. So Then we also look back to that one clue that says, I sold my own, like the only hint is a burner phone. And I mean, what does that tell us, right? Then after that, we heard there were 5 CPS reports, one still ongoing when Sebastian went missing, correct? Okay. And then we heard that KP and CP reached out to Seth because they wanted to, like in November and December of 2023, because they wanted to, November of 2023, sorry, because they wanted to put Sebastian in a school, and it's a school for troubled teens, by the way, called Bledsoe. Okay. And Seth Rogers did his research and he realized there was no way his child was going to that school because it was not a program that was suitable to Sebastian's needs. It was more for troubled teens. And Sebastian needed some trauma therapy and things like that. So makes us all start to think, and I know you're all thinking as you email me, well, could he be at a school? I don't know. Could he be hidden? I don't know. But we know that someone put in our chat a couple of days ago that if KP put him in a school or put him somewhere, that it wouldn't be illegal. But if Seth did, it would be illegal. And by the way, yes, I reported it. I submitted it. So just little things that, could that be where he is? They're watching the entries into Canada. They are watching states surveilling from Clinton, New York to Seattle, Washington, and other states they've mentioned. I don't remember those right off the top of my head. Oregon, we know there's 2 connections in Oregon to the case, and that confirmed sighting. We had the documents request we read here. Thank you to Miss CB, gave it to me. And indeed, it was true. They were sighted there at Ford's Pond in Sutherland, Oregon. So lots of things going on that are confusing. We don't have the answers for, but I believe it gives us hope. Because if they're checking the borders or the entries into Canada, it's because they think they're moving Sebastian. And if they're moving Sebastian, in my opinion, it would be because he's alive and he's being moved. Okay? So that's my theory. I'm praying he's safe. There are so many clues and info. Angel Mama says there are so many clues and info that he is still alive and that he could be somewhere. Praying that he's still safe. Okay. Absolutely, me too. Me too. A monastery or a nunnery? Interesting. Interesting. Oops. Wrong one. Yes, I think so too, Little Red Zero. We're trying to get something like that set up so we can all gather and have a mod meeting and a discussion. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. In my opinion, KP says, Maria Gutierrez says, in my opinion, KP is involved probably as well, CP in my opinion. Thank you for saying in my opinion. But yes, so think about the areas. So that in itself lets us, and lets us think that if you're moving a child, you're moving a child that is with us. Okay? And let's read this one more time. Sebastian Rogers is more than just a missing person. He is a son, a grandson, a nephew, a cousin, and a friend. He is a person with autism, but also with dreams, talents, and passions. He is a person who matters, who deserves to be happy and safe. He is a person who needs to be found. Oh, thank you, Renee. Renee says she's got a home for kids with autism in her town. She'll check into it. Yes, Buckeyes where Daniel Robinson disappeared from. Yes, I helped search for him. You lived in crime time. I'm from Nebraska, but worked in Arizona for 4 months. Buckeye. I went swimming outside on Christmas Day, something unheard of in Nebraska. Yes. Cold to us who live here all the time. Too cold to swim on Christmas Day, but whenever my family comes in town, they're definitely swimming in the winter time. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, yes. Absolutely. Makes sense, right? So we are going to start. We've read the quote that I want to read. Now I am going to share something from a quick little TikTok of Seth talking about what Sebastian is allowed to wear at the P-Foot's house, allegedly, as far as under his clothing, his bottoms.
Really?
A diaper over here, for when he left, he couldn't have underwear at their house.
Really?
Chris didn't want him wearing underwear. Chris wanted him to wear a pull-up. Chris got upset that I wouldn't enforce that at my house.
What?
My son doesn't need to be in a pull-up. My son needs to be treated better. A diaper over here, for when he left, he couldn't have underwear at their house.
Really?
Chris didn't want him wearing underwear. Chris wanted him to wear a pull-up. Chris got upset that I wouldn't enforce that at my house.
What?
My son doesn't need to be in a pull-up. My son needs to be treated better. A diaper over here, for when he left, he couldn't have underwear at their house.
Really?
Chris didn't want him wearing underwear. Chris wanted him to wear a pull-up. Chris got upset that I wouldn't enforce that at my house.
What?
My son doesn't need to be in a pull-up. My son needs to be treated better.
That was credit to, let me turn it off. That was credit to the Pascal Show, and the short credit to Electronic Medium 1111. And I lead into that because that is serious, in my opinion. And I think we have to look at when there is someone who is missing, in my opinion, allegedly, when there is someone who is missing, you must look at who would benefit the most from them being gone, in my opinion. Okay. We do not know, Susanna, if they have left Hendersonville. I am not sure, but we know that their cars are kind of rotating through their driveway at different times. Okay. And someone saw someone, driving one out the other day, a few days ago. So I don't know where they're staying. If they're staying at home, the house is dark often. But I have not gotten verification of that in about a day. So I am going to share with you Peter Hyatt's most recent ex. Yes, he did. He deserved very much better, Maria Corelli. Thank you for saying that. Cariello, thank you for saying that. Yes. How many times was it? Why? How many times does it take? How many reports before CPS takes a child out and notifies the biological father? I don't know, but that's where change needs to begin. That's why Harmony Montgomery's missing. That's why Oakley Carlson's missing, and so many more. Hi, Bo. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let me read Peter Hyatt's statement about Sebastian Rogers, and this is recent. I know many of you have already seen this, but I think it's a good connection to what we just heard Seth talking about. Excuse me. Peter Hyatt, statement analyst, fabulous. Please pray for him. He's dealing with serious health issues right now. Over many years, in-person interviews for child abuse allegations. When boyfriend or stepfather introduces the topic of discipline, choosing his own words, the child was physically abused. In missing children cases, analysis from transcripts, when the mother's boyfriend or stepfather talks about discipline, the abuse is central to why the child went missing. The latter is far more intense due to the child's unknown status in plight. Unknown to law enforcement and the public, their status in plight. Hashtag Sebastian Rogers case is an example of the guilty seeking to control a narrative that he knows will condemn him. The guilty knowledge rises to the surface if we are listening critically, not emotionally. It is his own words, not mine, yours, nor the interviewer. Wow. Let's read that one more time. Over many years, in-person interviews for child abuse allegations. Then he has the colon. When boyfriend or stepfather introduces the topic of discipline, choosing his own words, the child was physically abused. In missing children cases, analysis from transcripts, when mother's boyfriend or stepfather talks about discipline, the abuse is central to why the child went missing. The latter is far more intense due to the child's unknown to law enforcement and the public status, and plight. So if there's a step parent in a missing child case, what Peter Hyatt is saying is there's a step parent father in a missing child case, the abuse, who talks about discipline, the abuse is central to why the child went missing. Hashtag Sebastian Rogers case is an example of the guilty seeking to control a narrative that he knows will condemn him. The guilty knowledge rises to the surface if we are listening critically, not emotionally. It is his own words, not mine, yours, nor the interviewer. I love Peter Hyatt. No, I agree. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Miriam M. That shouldn't be their role. Amy Parker, no, he hasn't been found. Yeah, it's well said. So we started last night and we spoke of, or we were listening to interview number 5 by the KP and CP. It is the first interview where taking the trash out chore has been mentioned. Interview 5. Okay. We still have not heard a noise or a thud. And I don't believe we heard that she's been studying yet. I'll have to go back through all of them. Okay. So, hello, Victoria Burgess. Hello, Cherokee 1971. Okay. So we are going to pick up where we left off on Duchess interview 5. He just was where we left off. CP was talking about the fact he was asked, saying, CP, is it? It's being said that Sebastian is afraid of you and you bully him. And CP laughed. He laughed, and then she said, and you have DV cases. And you wanted to send him away or something like that, or you didn't want him to live there. I will back it up a little bit. And he addressed the DV. He said there's only one. And it was for Nina slapping him in the face, and it's in New Mexico. So we all know what we know now or have heard, but that's where we left off. They have not yet addressed sending him. Oh, no, it wasn't sending him away. She said, and please talk about the fact that he was going to go live with his father end of May after school year end. So they haven't addressed that, or he took it all on right away. KP hasn't answered, but he's talking about the DV, and he laughed about him being afraid of him and then said, oh, he gets mad at me, but he comes up and he hugs me and says, I love you, I'm sorry. So I'll go back a couple seconds. Oh, you need to go back a couple seconds because he said he wasn't there. He was traveling to Nashville. Okay. Amy Parker, if you look at the thumbnail, the left side look at the thumbnail. The left side is a case where a child was found in a father's basement while he was live on Nancy Grace and had reported the child missing 11 days before. And then if you look to the right, it is Sebastian's. But why did she slap him? Because he's got a text from his coworker. Yeah, it's all in context, right? I am to bear. Yes, he said that that coworker likes girls, so it was ridiculous, is what he said. So we'll go back a little bit. So get your notebooks out if you're taking notes. We just now fit interview number 5. We just now got the trash chore brought up. No noise, no thud. So let's get started. Thank you all for being here.
credentials that I have.
Can you tell us anything about that? Is there anything specific to know about that? I think a lot of people
seemed off or out of the ordinary prior to him going missing that during the night before you noticed he was missing.
I honestly didn't notice anything that was like, oh my God, that's weird, you know? I mean, we had a really good day. You know, he wasn't in trouble at all. We went to bed on a good note. And I don't know if maybe he just wasn't saying something, but nothing. And I've gone over this so many times. I'm ill, but I didn't see or notice anything that was like red flag, you know?
Okay.
He didn't have any meltdowns or anything like that that seemed off.
No, he was actually really well behaved that day. He was even keel for the most part all day.
Can I ask the question?
Sure.
Was that unusual for him to
No,
be well behaved all day?
not necessarily. And
Sebastian goes through phases.
he's got streaks where he's great, and then it's like he
Goes through remission.
yeah, like he'll screw up and he'll get in trouble, and then he'll be good again, and he'll screw up. I mean, he's like a typical kid, in a sense, but he just has autism, and I mean it's hit or miss.
But like he'll be doing really, really great for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden it's like he'll flip a switch. Sorry. And, you know, and then we're working on, going to the bathroom, and we're working on manners, and we're working on attitude. And then,
Okay, hold on. Let me address something. The thumbnail has one case on the left about a boy who was found in the basement, one case on the right about Sebastian. Okay? I am doing the X updates after this. Let's be polite. Okay, it's not clickbait. You have to look at the whole thumbnail, my friend. Thank you. And I didn't even have dog on my thumbnail, so I'm not sure. Okay. So, I have spoken. And thank you all for being here. I know we all want him to be found desperately. That's why we're going through the beginning, looking at things that now might click with us. Hi, Misty Moon.
and then we'll go through that phase, and then we'll go through, and he'll flip the switch again, and he's, doing really great. He just goes through.
I understand that
it's like
completely. Trust me.
progress, backpedal, but it.
Now, when I saw on social media, some people were talking about Seth had spoken on, I guess it was, maybe it was the Pascal show that he recently spoke on. And he was talking about how at the end of the school year, Sebastian was supposed to come and live with him. And can you tell us anything about that? Is there anything specific to know about that? I think a lot of people have been saying some very interesting things. According to some posts that I saw, apparently it's because Chris, you are that he's scared of you. That he's scared of you, and that you're bullying him at home. And I don't like to ask these questions, but I feel like this needs to be addressed because I just want you to talk to us about why people are saying this, and why people are also putting online that you have domestic violence charges. And I just wanted you to talk to us about that. If you, whatever you feel like you can tell us, so we can try to reel that in.
Oh, no, I'm okay to address every bit of this.
Okay.
So you mentioned Sebastian's afraid of me. Well, that is a loaded question because somebody who has released some information out there from another show who I won't put his name out there, allowed somebody to say something. Now, mind you, when you have a teenage child or teenage children, all parents know this, your children are not going to like you because you're not there to be their best friend. You're there to be a parent. And as parents, you have rules they have to follow. If they don't, there's consequences. Sebastian will say one day he's upset and mad at me for something, and 20 minutes later will run up to me, throw his arms around me, cry and say, I'm sorry and I love you. So, when you get in trouble, of course you don't like your parents. He said the exact same things about his father, but that's when you set him down and say, look, bud, parents are parents, and we're going to have to do what we have to do. And unfortunately, you're not going to like it, but down the road, when you get older and if you decide to have children, someday you're going to look back and say, man, they were right. So, people have their opinions, they have their thoughts and their assumptions, and that's fine. I have never once stopped a person from having them. That's why we are people. That's how we are. But knowing the facts are one thing. And then assumptions behind what you want to put out there is something totally different.
Right.
You addressed domestic violence. Okay. There are some folks out there who've decided to go online and go pull some public records, which perfectly okay with. Domestic violence. If I had domestic violence in my background, I wouldn't have certain credentials that I have because you're not legally allowed to. Domestic violence, no. I've had a temporary protective order and I had a no contact order placed against me in New Mexico with my ex-wife. Now, mind you, let me back up and I'll play the whole story for you. Me and my ex-wife, we actually lived here in Tennessee for a little bit. We had a daughter. And at the time, my daughter was only maybe 6 weeks old. An event took place while I was holding my daughter. And when that took place, I filed for an immediate protection order against her. We went to court. The court made their decisions. I gave my daughter back to her mother. And when she received her, she jumped in a truck and flew right back to New Mexico. Got to New Mexico within 2 days of being there. She turned around and filed the exact same thing against me in New Mexico. So everything that people are reading, it's on a court document. But what you don't read is all the things that are happening in the court. You're not reading the transcript. So unfortunately, you don't know the full story. But if people want to ask, I'm okay to tell you. Yes, I still have a current custody case going on in New Mexico that actually has absolutely zero bearing on this case with Sebastian. I do ask people to refrain from bringing that up because it has no bearing. And all you're going to do is put assumptions, and you're going to allow people to have their speculations and bring out more false information. And what people don't understand is every time somebody puts something out there or they call into the law enforcement agency and says, the stepfather did it, you need to check the stepfather. Well, now you've just pulled a body away from the investigation because they are mandated to deal with that.
Right.
And I have told everybody from the very beginning.
I would just like to know how they dealt with it, right? He said they had to deal with it. I would like to know how they dealt with it. Because if that stuff, that's important stuff to the investigation. So I want to know how they dealt with it when they had to pull a body away because people were reporting he's mean to Sebastian and Sebastian's afraid of him. How, and he said, then they have to deal with it. How did they deal with it? Did they add that to, their minds when they were investigating? Did they, what, how can you look away from that, right? So, yes, Stockholm syndrome is real, Diorant. Are we who has Stockholm syndrome? Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. It's going so fast. I start reading one and I can't see it. Okay. Okay. No, Raygon. That was the left side of the thumbnail. It's another boy who was found missing who was reported missing, found in the basement. The right side is Sebastian, where it says, I don't even remember what it says, but the right side of the thumbnail is Sebastian. So, it said, is Sebastian being hidden? A fatal paper cut. I agree with you. In your opinion, they are very concerned with maintaining their public image. Ooh, it went away. Sorry, guys, it's going too fast. I missed it. I apologize, but I agree with you. A fatal paper cut. We are not giving up. All opinions are welcome. Yes, we can agree to disagree in this community. Okay, I'm going to keep it going because this is a topic that's very important right now. And we're still waiting to hear what they say about him living with Seth. I hope it comes back up because they haven't answered that yet. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Paige Turner, RN. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and listen to Meow. Who's about my 12-year-old with autism. He's nonverbal and can't walk. He signs a lot. He wears diapers also, and he can have meltdowns bad. His twin does not have it. He can clear a classroom fast. Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that information, Meow. Appreciate it. I remember having a student, now that you bring that up, very similar situation. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Often an abused child will go on through their entire years trying to please their abusers. Yeah. Very sad. Oh, breaks my heart. And then Austin says, if my kids had to put on a pull-up to go to their dad's house, he would have seen my wrath like never before and had his rights to parenting time terminated forthwith. Yeah. That's why this case is so passionate to so many of us. Before I go back, yes, Meow, I really appreciate you sharing that. Twin boys. That was just coming out of my mouth. Twin boys. Aw. Hi, little Miss Sharon. Okay, well, let's get back to it. This is the topic that is actually, we now know possibly that's the topic that could be the center of all of this, in my opinion. Okay?
The TBI put a news link out, and in there it does state that all three parents have extremely been cooperative and constantly are continuously working with law enforcement. And there's absolutely nothing to show that we are responsible, foul play, any of that nature. People have asked about interrogations and polygraphs. All this stuff has been done. All of it has
Yeah, I
been
think
done.
that was one of the questions that I had up next was, have you both taken a polygraph test?
The results are passed.
Chris, can I ask something? Because I know that
Yes,
people
ma'am.
was going to ask it afterwards. Uh, the event that happened, was that toward you or by you?
It was toward me.
Okay.
So to give you I'll go ahead and paint that story very crystal clear. I was holding my daughter in my left arm. Okay. Mind you, she was a little baby. She was up against my chest, cuddled up next to my cheek and my shoulder. My ex-wife accused me of having an affair with a coworker, who was not much into men. I'll let you go that direction wherever you want to go. Just wasn't into men. And that coworker was my boss at the time. And she didn't like, and I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" And I showed it to her. She's very hot-headed. She didn't like the answer, swore up and down I was, and she connected and slapped me across the left-hand side of my face where I was holding my daughter. If you can do that while a man is holding a child, or a woman is holding a child for that matter, if you can slap that person while they're holding that child, that says something about you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be in that situation. I wouldn't expect any person to be in a situation of that. So I had to do what I had to do based on being a parent, which
That definitely says something about a person, doesn't it? And look who's saying it. But it does. If you're hurting or slapping, it says something about a person. Now we know what we know, right? Exactly, Lori 626. Oh, Paige Turner, you're right. Yes. It's just terrible. I know, Holly S. Thank you for being here, Holly S. I have not greeted you yet. I apologize. I have wonderful mods. Hi, Ginger Girl. Yeah, says a lot about you, right? Slapping a child, in my opinion, and splitting their lip open says a lot about you, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. Okay, let's keep going. I just couldn't resist because when he said says a lot about you. Oh my goodness. Let's remember, we don't know who's called in all those CPS reports, right? We, you know, we know us, the school, but the school may not be all of them, right? Okay. I know Kim French. It's just, he's quite the performance, or in my opinion.
which was best for my child.
Right.
I just knew that in the future that people would be online saying there was an incident and nobody asked what the incident was. You said the results.
I'm sure they're
The
going to
results
spin
are,
it.
yeah. The results of the polygraph was that you passed. Is that both of you passed, or can you say?
Yes.
Okay. I think that was my question that was up next was, so you've both taken a polygraph test. That was some of the questions. I see a couple people asking that specifically. Did you take a polygraph test specifically? Chloe and Mo wanted to know specifically, could you elaborate? Did you take one and also pass?
I've got a question, and a lot of people have been asking, Chris, is there any reason why you don't want Sebastian around your daughter?
So I'm going to make this real crystal clear for everybody. There's some things that can be spoke of, and there's some things that will not be spoke of. And personal issues inside my family are strictly that. They have no bearing on this investigation. The cops are well aware of everything. involving specifics. And that's quite honestly, I know this is going to sound snarky and rude, but it's really nobody's business as to that because it has no bearing on this case.
Understood. Okay.
And for the record, I will say this. All three parents have an agreement, and we all understand this. That can be
Got
said.
Got it. Okay. And someone wanted to ask, Angela said, I would like for Chris to clarify what he meant when he said he hasn't seen Sebastian since early February. Are you able to clarify? And if you're not, just state that.
So I cannot give certain details with this investigation, and that's kind of one of those things.
Okay.
I wished I could eventually down the road. I'm sure that will allow to come out.
Okay.
But as it stands right now, the answer that I've given is early February was the last time that I saw Sebastian. And no, I was not home when all of this took place. I actually got back to Nashville. I believe it was later in the afternoon, but I was on the phone with the police for the majority of that day until I physically got here.
A question that I've seen asked, so I figured I wrote it down to ask you. Why was the sheriff's office called and not 911?
So our house is not designated for city limits, which jurisdictions for police are inside city limits. The sheriff's department is what governs our area because we're outside of that. So if you call 911 and you're outside of those areas, it goes to a central point, but then they will turn around and ask your location, and then they redirect you to another dispatcher. If you know who the dispatcher, who your law enforcement agency is that governs your area, I just call them straight. There's no point in wasting time going from one to another to get to what I need when I know exactly who to call.
Did you all just hear that? So we've wondered how he got through that day before they were open to call the sheriff's department, which, by the way, that is incorrect. I know the local. My source says that is absolutely false. They call 911. Okay. So he said, you call 911, it goes to the central point and they redirect you. And he said, you got to know who to call. Get straight through. And that's what he did, he said. Okay. So who did he call to get straight through? I'm going to play that back for you. Okay. So there were 2 lies in there about the polygraph test, in our opinion, from what we've heard. Yes. It is our business when a young man goes missing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, CB. In my opinion. So we're going to listen to that again. Thank you all for being here.
Said, I would like for Chris to clarify what he meant when he said he hasn't seen Sebastian since early February. Are you able to clarify? And if you're not, just state that.
So I cannot give certain details with this investigation, and that's kind of one of those things.
Okay.
I wished I could eventually down the road. I'm sure that will allow to come out.
Okay.
But as it stands right now, the answer that I've given is early February was the last time that I saw Sebastian. And no, I was not home when all of this took place. I actually got back to Nashville. I believe it was later in the afternoon, But I was on the phone with the police for the majority of that day until I physically got here.
A question that I've seen ask, so I figured I wrote it down to ask you. Why was the sheriff's office called and not 911?
So our house is not designated for city limits, which jurisdictions for police are inside city limits. The sheriff's department is what governs our area because we're outside of that. So if you call 911 and you're outside of those areas, it goes to a central point, but then they will turn around and ask your location, and then they redirect you to another dispatcher. If you know who the dispatcher, who your law enforcement agency is that governs your area, I just call them straight. There's no point in wasting time going from one to another to get to what I need when I know exactly who to call.
And you guys were on a 3-way call because you
Yes.
were not, you were coming from out of town. Is that correct?
We were on a 3-way call.
Yeah, that law enforcement was called on a 3-way call.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to clarify that. Terry Dean wants to ask you if Sebastian could have been sneaking out prior without y'all knowing.
I'd like to think no.
I would like to say no.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is not Sebastian. He's not a child that just goes outside at any point in time without telling somebody something.
It's somehow that zero knowledge.
Yeah, if it had happened, we don't know about it. But our neighborhood, it's a very small subdivision. It's not huge. And everybody here looks out for everybody. We all watch to make sure everything's kosher in the neighborhood, and nobody has reported anything of that nature.
Okay. Crazy Linda asked, were there any weapons in either homes? And if so, were they all accounted for by law enforcement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And
do you all have camera footage in your home? I've heard people saying that too.
That is some information that we cannot divulge at this time due to the ongoing investigation.
Okay.
Thank you.
I wish we could, but unfortunately we can't.
Did Sebastian have a key to the house? And if he did he take that key with him?
That is another part of an investigation that's ongoing that we cannot answer.
Okay.
Can I ask the question I've seen? Whose idea was it for Sebastian to move in with his bio dad after school was out?
All three parents.
And another thing that I've seen, and I mean, I understand if y'all can't answer, but was there also a restraining order on the biological dad?
That was posted in a Facebook group.
Yes.
That someone sent to me. I think, no, that was something else. Let me find it. Someone sent that to me.
It was actually underneath JLR's video. It wasn't in the Facebook group.
Okay, so here's what I will openly say about that.
Oh, there it is. That's what somebody posted in the comments.
So what I will say on that is this. People go through divorces, and it is not the best of times. So I was not privy to that kind of information prior to my relationship with my wife. That if anything happened, that happened prior to my knowledge. So I cannot and give you an answer of that. But what I can say is, if it is out there, it could be of public knowledge. It could be a public record, but I don't have any knowledge of it.
Okay. That's what I needed to ask on that one. Okay, going back over here to my questions. Guys, please, I appreciate your patience, and they are sending me the questions. So I see that you guys are still posting more questions, and I'm getting to them as fast as I can. So thank you guys for being patient. I do have 4 or 5 more messages that just popped up that said they want to know that you definitely took a polygraph and passed because it got cut off by a different question and they feel like you did not answer that. So I'm just asking one more time. This is the last time, guys, I'm going to revisit this question.
Okay. For the record.
Mo, he said he passed it, according to Amy.
Well, hold on. Somebody asked the question, was a polygraph taken and has it been passed? Yes. I didn't specify who or when. But what I can tell you, everything has been vetted completely. Polygraphs have come back as passed. So I'm confused as in why they're all wondering if myself, my wife, and the biological father took one. When law enforcement agency has come out and told everybody, even in the TBI news link, if you guys hadn't read that, please go out and read that. That's got a lot of great information in it, especially it's probably the most up-to-date information. But they will even tell you at this point in time, they have no reason to speculate foul play, anything on the parents. Everybody's been extremely cooperative of anything and everything they've asked us.
Okay. And Bobby, why did that happen? Because it's public. It's a public post. And these are questions that people are asking. And that is why it's up there. So before we go any further, we'll go back, and this is another, I have had many questions about this, about supposedly Sebastian's grandmother spoke out last night, and he said, Trev apparently quoted her from some comments on a YouTube chat. Is there anything that you want to say about this particular comment? Because I have been messaged multiple times about this. If you want to address it, you don't. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. I just wanted to ask you.
I will address it. I have, like I said, if somebody's refusing to address something that shows suspicion, I have no problems to address this. The grandmother, which is Seth, Robin is the name. She is Seth's biological father's mom. She made her statement on whatever YouTube channel. That's fine.
Thank you, Trev.
What I can say on that is real simple. Like I said earlier in this podcast, kids are going to say things. They're going to get upset because you're a parent and they don't like your answers. Sebastian has said, like I said before, the same thing about his biological father. But when you sit your kids down and you explain to them that being a parent, you have to do things that they don't like, unfortunately, it is what it is. We're not, as parents, everybody knows we're not to be our child's best friends. We're there to be parents. As a parent, your job in life is to make sure your offspring grow up to be better than we ever have been, or get things better than we ever could get. And that's your legacy. That's our job. And kids don't like it. They're not going to understand because they're still young. Their minds are being molded. But eventually they're going to grow up. And when they have their own kids, they're going to look back and go, man, our parents were right. Because everybody that's an adult that has kids right now, not one person can say, no, he's wrong. Because you've all done it. We still do it. And that's just part of it.
Right. And thank you, Trev, for being here. I thought this was a very important, when I saw this, it really kind of shocked me. And I felt like, while you're willing, to answer questions, I thought it was an important question to ask. Trev said, she said Chris verbally abused her, and that's very different than parenting. I just wanted to ask because people have a lot of questions, and so that was I just wanted to ask you, and it was, no shade to Trev Time. He just was posting that that's what happened in the chat, and he did verify that it was her. So, I just wanted to bring it straight to you. The best way to clarify is to ask.
To clear up her statement about me being verbally abusive to her.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, she's not going to tell you the full story. But there's always, remember, 3 sides to the truth: hers, mine, and the truth in itself. So you can figure it out. Me and the grandmother had a conversation, and this all stems back to an incident that a family member did. That as the parents, we had consulted with law enforcement about something. They recommended not doing it. Lo and behold, something happened and something was done against what we decided. I reached out to the mom and asked for her help. During that conversation, some accusations got flung in my direction and toward my wife, which the mother or the grandmother actually doesn't have the whole story. She has never once sat down with me, my wife, her son, and gotten the full truth on everything. She's only heard one side of the story. And I can promise you, I've got text messages and I'm not afraid to show them. I'm not afraid to screenshot them and let the public see it. Now, I will say, unfortunately, none of this has to do with the investigation of our son. But yes, we had a heated discussion.
And yet it turns out that from what we found out, it has a lot to do with the home environment, in my opinion. 5 cases, 1 still open. And what in the world, he said, what was he talking about? When they mentioned Robin, he said was he trying to throw us off being so vague? He said they had a talk, an incident with the family member. They spoke with law enforcement. Someone did something we didn't agree with. The accusation started flowing towards me and my wife, but Robin was only referring to one side. I promise you. Now we know, this was March 17th. So we are at December 18th. And we know we have been told differently, correct? That there are 5 situations, 1 ongoing when Sebastian went missing. So, in my opinion, CP and KP, Melissa, etc., always treated Sebastian missing like it's a game. And to them, it's a game. This is a game of cat and mouse. They're playing with us and thinking it's funny. Evil cowards. I agree, Misty. It's terrible. Oh, I'd love to see him go on Dr. Phil. I would love to see them go on Dr. Phil. Okay, so let's continue on. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know, hold on, let me make sure I read it properly to myself before I say it. The update of if they're at the house. Okay, the house is dark again tonight. Okay, but the work van is there again, and it was there yesterday as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. Why don't we take a pause for a second and check X just to see if there's any update. Well, actually, I'll check it while we're doing this next little bit.
Discussion. Yes, I sent her an apology for the heated discussion, and I've never received anything back from the grandmother, which I have always left that door open. In fact, the day when they got into town, I invited them to my house and welcomed them in. They stayed for a couple hours, then they left. I helped them guide them to the direction where they were putting their RV. and have always made it abundantly clear that regardless, people are going to have their disputes. Doors always open.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Cluminati, yes, asked this several times in chat, so I want to go ahead and address that. Where can locals be looking for Sebastian? Cluminati is local to your area, and she would like to know where you would like for people to be looking for Sebastian so they can be looking there. Is there any areas that you and Katie want to have people that are out there searching, where you want them to be hanging flyers? What can you tell us about that?
Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I mean, for me to give you a designated area would suspect that we think he's in an area. Well, we don't know. So anywhere and everywhere, people be very vigilant. Please be vigilant. You'd be surprised at how complacent we as society get when we're not focused on things. We're so driven on our day-to-day functions that we forget about things that are going on around us. We're all guilty, myself included. You know, anywhere and everywhere you can look. If there's not a flyer and you can print one off and post it up where you don't see a flyer, please do. I'm speaking for all three parents and all the families. We would greatly appreciate that. We send prayers, our thoughts, and our love out to everyone. I promise you, if there was a way we could make it felt and we could show it, we would.
We appreciate that, and we're happy. We're happy to help in any way that we can to find Sebastian. Ginger Snaps has a question. Can any of Sebastian's school friends drive?
So I think there's a misconception about what he calls friends. He's not in normal classes. He's in like what they call it, Why We Try program. So any kids with IEPs and et cetera, things of that nature, are put into this class where they have 3 or 4 teachers or assistants in the room with a teacher at one given time. And while that goes on, there's not many kids in the class. So if Sebastian says they're a friend and they talk to him, he considers them a friend. Okay. But he doesn't have friends like most kids that would go and, hey, I'm going over to Johnny and Susie's house to hang out, because of his social awkwardness. It's very difficult for him to make friends. And he's actually asked for Christmas. You know, we ask, what do you want for Christmas? And I just want friends.
Right.
We're at that level, but no, unfortunately, he does not associate with kids that can drive. Okay. So I wished he had a lot of friends, but I think after this, and when he comes home, this boy's gonna have more friends than he knows what to do.
Okay, and Doodlebug Fart says, I wonder if Sebastian knows how to connect his switch to Wi-Fi. Like, had he ever done that before?
No, ma'am. He does not have the ability. We have the Wi-Fi locked down, so you have to request to join it, and then that request has to be approved by us. But his switch actually has parental controls on it set forth by his mom.
Okay. And Vet Girl RWB.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Does he have the same rules at his dad's house?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so. We respect, like, what he does at his dad's house is under his dad's roof. We do stay in communications as far as like his behavior. Hey, this is what's going on. This is the punishment he's received. It's up to you if you want to continue with that at your house, vice versa. It's like I said, there's 3 of us, and we are extremely respectful toward one another when it comes to Sebastian. You'd be surprised. It's not like it's a tug of war game. It's very, very cooperative among all 3 parents.
Okay.
Did Sebastian want to live with his dad?
Say again, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Was Sebastian excited about living with his biological dad?
Well, that depends on what day you ask him, to be honest with you. There's days he was and days he wasn't. I mean, like I said, when a kid gets in trouble, I don't like you. Well, I'm sorry. And then an hour later, he, like nothing happened. So like I said, it's up or down.
Okay.
And I'm seeing this in chat, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask, is there a particular reason that you laugh before you answer a question? I've got my thoughts on it, but I think it would be better if you just told me.
That's fine. There are some questions that when people ask, I have heard these questions so many times. As much as people are on social media and they read the responses, I still get the same questions. So it's tiresome, but you know what? I told everybody I would answer the questions. So yeah, in a way, it's kind of funny that I keep getting the same questions over and over and over. But like I've told everybody, I respect them. I will answer them.
Okay.
But trust me, by any means, is this fun? No. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy at all.
Artie, do you have a question before I read Vet Girl's next question?
I think he's muted.
Okay. Go Bulldogs. Katie is there with Chris, but if she wants to speak, she will speak. But
yes, she is.
Vet Girl,
I do got a question about the shoes.
I think we have a delay, Crystal,
Sorry.
because it's okay.
I think we do.
Let me ask this question real
How
quick.
many shoes did Sebastian have?
Say it one more time.
How many pairs of shoes did Sebastian have?
Oh, well.
I'm not going to tell you how many shoes he has, but I will say that all of the shoes he has are accounted for.
Did y'all catch Mom?
I
It
didn't
broke
quite
up a little
hear.
bit for me. Did you hear?
Okay. She said that she would not divulge how many pairs of shoes he has, but law enforcement has accounted for every pair of shoes.
I have accounted for all of his shoes.
Okay. Vet Girl says, can you ask what Sebastian's normal school night routine is? Like some kids like to have their shower or a favorite blanket, their favorite pajamas. Please and thanks.
Sure. Sebastian comes home, gets off the school bus, comes in the house, does his chores, completes his homework, eats dinner. That time kind of varies. I don't have a set time on that. Bedtime, we normally have it right around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Sebastian gets a shower most of the time before he goes to bed, around 7 o'clock ish.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I said, he's in the bed by 9 o'clock.
And Sebastian didn't have anyone that lived in the area that he hung out with at all that lives near you.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Alicia P., for that question. And then Alan Tank says, what's Sebastian like with people outside the family that he doesn't know? Is he shy with strangers? Is he outgoing?
So that question you asked earlier in the podcast, it depends. Each day it kind of varies. He can be shy. He can be talkative. With most kids, he don't hold back when it comes to kids. He is like, he's got a up close and in your face kind of thing that he's got to work on. So it kind of makes it difficult. With adults, it depends. There are some days he doesn't even want to talk to family members, and some days he may. It just kind of depends.
Okay, and hang on one second. I'm just getting to the next one. Arctic, did you or Crystal have a question that you wanted to ask?
No, really want to make sure that the audience has a chance to get all their questions in.
Yeah, I'm going through each one of them right now. Some of them have already been asked, so I'm not asking those. Let's see. Olin Tank says, does Katie look in on him if she gets up to use the bathroom or anything in the night usually?
Not normally. I've never really had a whole reason to. I mean, now that he's older, at least. He gets up in the middle of the night and he comes in and gets snacks and, the dogs don't even bark at him because he shushes them and they know him. But, no, I've never, since he's gotten older, I don't really have a reason to peek in on him and wake him up.
And does he get up and down normally throughout the night on a regular basis? True Crime Cafe with Dago ask.
It honestly, he gets up and down at different times, different nights. I mean, not always. He goes in the kitchen and he'll sneak snacks and sweets and things he knows he's not supposed to be having, like typical kids do. But for the most part, that may be about it. And then he goes right back to his bedroom.
Okay. Bobby James asks, can Chris comment on why you are threatening lawyers about the bio dad's GoFundMe?
So the conversation of that is not threatening the bio father with attorneys. That conversation that flew out between me, the father was in the house, his sister was on the phone. We asked them to take that down. That goes back to one of the questions as far as one of the things we all agreed not to do, because even with law enforcement, it says it could portray a bad look. So we all agreed not to do it. She did it anyways. And then we asked her politely to take it down first time. She got nasty with us on the phone. And then I retaliated and I told her, I said, if this causes harm to our son, you can bet I will call an attorney.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
If this causes harm to our son, well, I need a break from it for a minute, guys. Girls, guys, let's go ahead and I'm just going to see. Yeah, he comes in for snacks. Oh, goodness me. He comes in for snack. Oh, interesting. Mimi, Ma. Yeah, I am to bear. I don't know, Ginger Girl. I think it's just, in my opinion, a control and power thing. Bed and garage, in your opinion. Yes, I worry about that too, allegedly. Oh, thank you so much. That's very, very kind, Maria. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate you for all you do for Sebastian to help bring him home. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Okay, let me share one X. There isn't any X updates, and I'll just show you one that Nick put out. I agree, Oddball. I do. So this was Nick reposted this yesterday, and this is really the last thing that I'm seeing. And one can hope, right? A TBI operation targeting online child exploitation and sextortion in Tennessee has resulted in the arrest of 10 people and identified 19 child victims. So that's several in the last few months, several operations that they have targeted and brought down. So this one, I wonder why they called it Operation Autumn Shield. 10 people face felony charges and more than a dozen victims have been identified. Wonder why it's not playing. Oh, no, not going to play. It's probably my computer. But anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. And we're going to go through and finish this interview, see how long they're actually on here. Everyone, thank you for being here. Oh, Cinderella, you're so sweet. Cinderella, that is very, very thoughtful and kind. Growing the family. Cinderella has gifted 5 Crime Time Buzz family memberships. Please thank Cinderella if you get one. Thank you so much. We meet Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes, Joni Clear, I believe so too. Okay, let's get started. And this is the 5th interview that we have done. Not in a row. We've had other. Oh. I have to mute myself. I'll be back.
Let's see. Was Sebastian playing with one of his devices online or on his Switch before he went to bed? Annabelle Roma asked.
None of his devices are connected to online.
Okay. All right. And Kiko asked, was he having trouble at school with anyone? Or was he being bullied that you're aware of?
Not that we know of. The administrators that work with him are honestly pretty great, and they try to pay attention and be aware not only for Sebastian but all of those kids. So they do their best to make sure that everyone's treating them respectfully and vice versa. Not to say that, kids are kids, but for the most part, they feel pretty confident that they do a pretty good job at taking care of the kids.
Okay. And Ginger Snaps wants to know, how long did it take him to take out the trash? Could he have met someone when he was taking out the trash?
Only a couple minutes.
Our driveway's not very long. I think our driveway might be 50 feet, maybe 75 feet long, and that's from front to back.
Okay, and guys, we're approaching midnight, so I'm not going to be able to take very many more questions because I still have a few that I need to get to. So I may not be able to get to all of your questions, but the ones that I've already been submitted from this point on, I'm going to try to get to. I see there's a lot of questions that we've already answered. So,
Chris, has this device has been took?
Say again, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
The devices in the home, have they all been looked at by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am, they have. And I believe if they go and look in that TBI news link that I was talking about, it may be listed as Amber Alert updates or something of that nature. There's a section in that news article that does talk about technology, and that should be able to answer those questions. But to answer yours, yes, everything has been thoroughly looked at in our house as well as the father's house, excuse me.
Okay, and where's Summer 1-800-TBI Find ask, did Sebastian have bad meltdowns with any anger? With the meltdowns that he had recently, being this age now?
I mean, I don't know what you call a bad meltdown. I mean, Was he a violent kid? No. Did he cry? Did he have a temper tantrum? Yes.
Okay. And he did take his eyeglasses with him. They were not found, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And True Crime Cafe with Dago said, with all due respect, was he anxious one way or the other to be moving in with his bio dad?
Like I said before, yes. I mean, he was ups and downs about it. There was days he was happy, days he's not. One of the things I'll tell you right now that he doesn't like, his dad's a smoker. You know, he doesn't like that his dad smokes. So, I mean, he's like, no, I don't want to because my dad smokes. But after you talk with him, you know, that's not a valid reason not to be moving in with his father.
Someone asked Happy Hemp Creations, how do you redirect any meltdowns that he has?
Depends on who he's with. Every parent handles him very much different. It is Amber Alert updates or something of that. Have a temper tantrum? Yes.
Okay. And he did take his eyeglasses with him. They were not found, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And True Crime Cafe with Dago said, with all due respect, was he anxious one way or the other to be moving in with his bio dad?
Like I said before, yes. I mean, he was ups and downs about it. There was days he was happy, days he's not. One of the things I'll tell you right now that he doesn't like, his dad's a smoker. You know, he doesn't like that his dad smokes. So, I mean, he's like, no, I don't want to because my dad smokes. But after you talk with him, you know, that's not a valid reason not to be moving in with his father.
Someone asked Happy Hemp Creations, how do you redirect any meltdowns that he has?
Depends on who he's with. Every parent handles him very much differently.
Sometimes you can just give him a pressure hug with light squeezing and talk to him calmly and calm him down. And other times you can tell him to go to his room because that's his space, and tell him to take 5.
I mean, there's times where me and him go outside and we'll have a discussion. Like, tell me what's on your mind, dude. I give you free reign. Talk to me. Let it out. I don't care what it is. Just say it. If that's what helps you, say it.
Because he doesn't want to say a curse in front of Mama.
Yeah, he that's one thing he's been good about. I was like, look, don't ever do it in front of your mama. That's all I'm asking. But if you and I go out somewhere and you want to do it, I'll give you no consequences. I'll give you some time to do your thing. And he does it. He'll cry. He'll get all of his thoughts and his feelings out, and he'll cry, and then he'll give me a big old hug and say, I'm sorry and I love you. We hug it out. I'm like, it's all right, buddy. Trust me. Everybody's got to have an outlet.
But we tell him, like, if you need to yell and scream or be angry, just say, I need a minute to do that. And then, whatever you say during that time frame, you don't get in trouble for it. And if you got to curse, you got to curse, but only when you're doing the free time. That way it sets a limitation so that he's not just, free balling all the time with curse words.
When he's with his father that I know of, that we've all discussed, they'll go fishing. They like to do a lot of fishing. And that's where he has his moments with his dad, and they have their discussions. So, I mean, like I said, it varies with each parent.
Okay. David Bryant sent a super chat, and he has a question, and I'm not sure why this even applies, but I'm going to ask it. David Bryant says, CP said, let questions fly. So, Katie, did you have an active dating profile at the time Sebastian went missing? Any sort of dating profile? I'm not sure.
I don't actually have a problem answering that. I've never had a dating profile.
I hope that helps, David Bryant. And then True Crime Cafe with Dago says, how often does your daughter get to visit Chris? Respectfully, I've seen a lot of comments in this chat tonight saying that you did not want your daughter and Sebastian to be around each other. And I'm just not sure where that's coming from. Can you talk to me about that?
Sure. I got no
Okay.
problem. So I have a
Okay.
parenting plan with my ex-wife. I get her every other year on spring breaks. I get her in the summers. And I get her, like, we split the Christmas time frame.
Okay.
My parenting plan is very much like the mom's with her ex-husbands. The only difference between the two is he lives here. So, and we have a great relationship with each other. So it's easy to be like, hey, can I have him this weekend? Sure, man, whatever. It's not like it's turmoil between everybody.
Okay, because I was noticing that there were comments saying that the reason Sebastian was going to live with Seth is because your daughter is coming to move in with you and that you don't want your daughter around Sebastian. And I just wanted to get clarification on that.
Whoever feels or believes, if you've got proof of that, please show it to me. I'll be happy to address it, but I'll tell you right now, I don't have custody of my daughter like that. I wished I did. Sebastian going to his father's has nothing to do with my daughter at all.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome. I will say, like, everybody out there, thank you for the questions. I'm glad that we can help clear some of this out. I've told everybody online, like, look, I'm respectful, I'm direct, and I'm brash, but ask a question, I'll get to them and I'll answer them the best of my ability. There are thousands and millions of people, but there's only 3 of us, and we are doing our best to being able to address people as we can.
Okay. And the reason I was asking, because Alicia P. had made the comment, the problem is you're seeking custody of your daughter. And if you don't want Sebastian around your daughter, just how was that going to work, Chris? Because now Sebastian is missing. That's why people want to know. So that was why I asked.
No, I understand. And I can see where people's correlations are trying to put 1 and 2 together. Unfortunately, It's 2 different puzzles.
Okay.
My case with my ex-wife, that is a whole totally different situation. At some point, eventually, I can let that out. Right now, that's still in an ongoing court battle. And to be honest with y'all, because of all of this with Sebastian, it has actually caused some issues in that court case, which unfortunately it is what it is. And hopefully I'll have some good news and I'll let you guys know. Hopefully something here soon.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Retha Bell. Thank you for being here. Oh, yes, he's something else, isn't he? So let's see what he says. They all get along tremendously. Sebastian missing has caused issues in his custody case. He hopes to have good news. This was on March 17th. This was recorded. And indeed, they had Faith over last summer. So he gets her spring breaks every other spring break. They split Christmas, and then he gets her summers. So, oh my goodness, it's a lot. KP has hardly said a word. The last thing KP answered was that when he gets excited, she does a pressure squeeze or go to your room, and that's his space. So CP's doing all the talking about, and I just wish that, it would have been very important in the very beginning like this. I do too, Maria Gutierrez. I hope that that's not the case either. I hope not, Polly Pepper. I hope not. But he got her over the summer. I'm worried too, in my opinion. So, hold on. Let me see what's going on. So, is everyone hanging in there? You want to keep going? I don't think there's... Faith was here allegedly over the summer, Cinderelli. He gets her on summers. They alternate Christmases, he said. Or they split Christmas. So he will get her. They both share her Christmas time, he said. And then they alternate spring breaks, is what he said. So, okay. Well, if you all are doing okay, we'll continue, okay? Thank you all for hanging in there. I mean, these topics are the ones that are currently coming up, right? The custody, the CPS, the reports, a lot of things coming up that are current right now, in my opinion, very central to the investigation and case. They are all a few towns over together shopping. Who is? Wait, what? Oh, you mean the family? The Steps and everyone? Hello, the real Me Too. Good to see you. Little Red Zero, you're cute. Little Red Zero says, I was not home, but I do all the talking because I think I am Ellie. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I hope so, June. I hope so. I hope right now they wait for Sebastian to return and see what the case is before any more children allegedly are moved back and forth. We've seen too many mistakes, right? When it becomes too late, allegedly. Okay, let's finish this. Thank you all for being here and hanging in.
Chris, can it be verified that you were in Memphis?
Yes, very much. Very much.
What is law enforcement allowing you all to do to look for Sebastian?
We're doing everything we can.
Anything we can, as long as it does not hinder the investigation. So if people want more specifics, we've got flyers that are going out anywhere and everywhere we can put them out. We actually were able to get some yard signs, kind of like the signs that go in the yard for kind of like real estate agents. We got some of those missing. We got those put out, spread through all out the state. Some in different states itself, Alabama, Mississippi, a few in Kentucky, all the way up to Louisville. I believe we even got some down in Georgia.
Flyers that we've put out.
Flyers. We got flyers that travel throughout various states, billboards throughout the entire state of Tennessee. I can tell you that I've seen 7 from Nashville to Memphis that I could confirm.
But we're also out and about.
But we do have, we are like feet on the ground looking. We're constantly trying to think of different ways. We're reaching out in various positions, and people might be able to bring something to the table that we don't know about. There are some companies out there that are amazing.
And foundations that work with missing children. We've been reaching out to them as well.
Yeah, I know that you've been working with the Aware Foundation. I do a lot of work with them, so.
Well, them and EquiSearch, the National Center, the Class Foundation, just to name a couple.
Yeah, the Class Foundation is a great foundation. I did want to let you know that if you reach out to Lamar Media, they're a billboard company, and sometimes they will provide free billboards for children that are missing too, if you reach out to
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll definitely get that looked into.
And I did send you that link, Katie, but I will send it again to you after the live stream to make sure that you have it.
Individually, what do you all think should happen is to the person if somebody abducted Sebastian?
That is not for us to determine. That is, if somebody has Sebastian, all I'm going to say is that is nothing that we want to be a part.
Okay. Professionals say that is an absolute red flag. I learned that in the Summer Wells case. Okay. When a parent has a missing child and isn't sure they want to say how they should be punished or right, they say that's a red flag. Most parents will say, I want to, let me at him, or I want him to never see the light of day. So this is interesting because Don Wells said very similar thing. Oh, gee, I hate to, so yeah, you know what you'd request, Serenity, right? Right? They don't want anything, and you would want to punish the person. So that is a very similar response that Don Wells had.
Part of until that is legal, that is law enforcement agency, that has nothing to do with us. We just
They go to jail, so I don't.
Mom's saying she better hope they go to jail.
Well, I will say what I think should happen. I think that their ass needs to be passed around the jail like a goddamn honey bun.
Well, I mean, trust me, I have my own personal opinions, but
All I have to say is they better pray they go to jail before I get my hands on them if I find out someone's hurting my baby.
all I'm going to say is we have a legal system, and let them go through that aspect of it. And in the end, karma has a name. It will come around and show its face. And eventually they will have to answer for what they've done.
Truecom Cafe with Dago said, are there any abandoned or empty homes in your area close to you?
There's a construction, another subdivision.
He said they would have to answer for what they've done, but I thought they're saying he walked away. He ran away. Chris says, let the legal system, let them handle it. But believe me, they're going to have to answer for what they've done. Well, he thought that Sebastian had ran away. No, she is not the Lady Lexi. MMA fighter. Trained in the military. Okay, answer for what they've done. He was a runaway. Why would you say that? That's important, actually. That's really important. This is March. Yeah, that's important. Okay. Thank you all. Yeah. In Shape of Heart, I agree with you. She's saying that he had an entirely different physical reaction when in care of the parents. Disposable underwear when with KP and CP, and fine when he was with his dads. And yes, abuse and anxiety can cause that allegedly. Yes, those are two things that can cause that. Absolutely. Allegedly, in our opinion, when we're thinking about it. Okay, let's continue on. This is very telling interview, right? To go back. Oh, June, you're such a sweetheart. You're always so thoughtful, Miss June. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. That is just, you're always such a sweetie. Thank you. I appreciate it. So nice. Yeah. So let's go back. Yeah, it's just a lot that I'm hearing it through different ears right now, because we know so much more. We're down the road, right? No, this is before Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace is March 25th. This is March 17th. This is interview number 5 for CP and KP. Well, one of them was with a short one on the news, and then they played the extended one later, but we watched them both. Thank you, Maria Gutierrez. Interesting, right? So Cinderella, that one's coming up. That's March 25th. And this is March 17th. They did this one. Yeah, and he took him outside to have talks with him. Interesting, right? I wonder if that's when allegedly some of the things that we've heard were overheard that aren't very friendly and nice that you don't say to a child, any child. I wonder if that's a time at when things might have been overheard. In my opinion, allegedly could have been. Hi, Robbie. Okay, let's get back to it, friends. And family members and mods, you are doing an incredible job. Thank you so much. And you know what, chat, you always do a wonderful job. I truly appreciate you. Keep it clean, in my opinion. Allegedly, we all make mistakes at times, but you're doing a great job saying initials instead of full names, even though sometimes things make us really upset when we hear this stuff, right? I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And thank you for being
division that's building right next door to our subdivision. All of those houses and everything over there have been thoroughly searched. I couldn't tell you how many times over. Our entire subdivision has been scoured. Our neighbors, everybody around us has opened their homes willingly and worked with law enforcement. So, I mean, barns, everything got checked.
I did have one. I did have one question. I saw where a dog had tracked Sebastian scent to a construction site. Have they dug that site up to see if there was any sign of Sebastian there?
The law enforcement and every search agency and everybody that's been involved has scoured that place up and down, in and out. There was a pond that was mentioned, a retention pond. It was only knee deep. They did drain it, and they have found nothing.
That reminds me of another question. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I know you've already answered that they took your devices. The computer and stuff that Sebastian used at his biological dad's, did they take that as well?
Yes, ma'am. Everything has been completely between both households. Everything has been extremely thoroughly scanned, reviewed, everything.
Okay, well, that's good to know. They took the devices from his bio dad's house too.
And if they want to come back and get more devices, like I said, we've opened this house up to everything. If they want it, they come and get it. There's no hesitations, and off they go.
Okay, and you and Katie have been out to do some searches yourself and hang up flyers. Is that true? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we have. We've gone out numerous places and hung up flyers. We've gotten with motorcycle chapters and groups and gotten them on board to help us. We've gone from various cities to cities. I personally have gone from Nashville to Memphis and into Mississippi and back.
And did they also take the devices from the school as well that Sebastian may have used when you said they took all the devices from your house and from the bio dads? Did they also take the school devices as well to look at?
Sebastian didn't have devices that he had at school. But anything and everything, if he had something, has already been scanned and thoroughly searched. And like I said, if you refer back to that TBI news link and the technology proportion, I believe all of that will answer all those questions.
Okay. All right. And Karen S. said, your dogs barked during your first TV interview. Wouldn't they have barked when Sebastian walked out the door?
No, because they know Sebastian. When they barked in the first interview,
Because a stranger was in the
a
house.
stranger was in the house.
They've been sitting right here the entire time.
Yeah.
So a stranger didn't come in the house that night, or the dogs would have been barking. That's what I take from that. Okay. He went from Nashville to Memphis to Mississippi and back, Horn Lake, Mississippi, we believe. He has no devices. High schoolers and middle schoolers are, no, I mean, out here they get their own laptops. In Sumner County, do they get their own laptops, I wonder? Or devices? And our kids get to take them home back and forth, and I'm wondering if they do. That's interesting. How do they, well, maybe they don't do everything online, as much online? I'm going to have to ask that question. Oh, okay, thank you, Kristen. I was going to say, how do you not have a device at school? Thank you, Kristen J. Hold on 1 second. Let me see this. We're going to keep going.
Okay, and you said there was, they had asked you if there was any flashlights that were missing, and that prompted you to go look. Tell me about that. There was some questions about the flashlight, so I just wanted you guys to reiterate that.
Right. So Sebastian had a little, it's about a little 3-inch. If you think about the little keychain flashlights, that used to find at vendor tables, they give out for free, cheapies. It was something that he picked up at one of the local festivals, and so right now we still to this day cannot find it. So we are assuming that he took it with him because it cannot be found.
Okay. And how often does law enforcement update you guys?
Very regularly.
Okay. And Chris Black says, what about the initial press release where it was said that Sebastian liked to stay up late?
I don't remember hearing that, but
I don't either, but I just wanted to put that out there because I thought maybe I missed something.
Well, I mean, if he, like I said, we said earlier, he's a typical teenager, so he will get up in the middle of the night. It's hard to say. I personally don't remember that being said in the interview, and I'm sorry. And I'm not doubting it, but
Craddock said, we're hoping he was up all night and is resting when they were out looking for him. He said, and we're hearing he doesn't sleep much during the night. He sleeps more during the day and is active at night. So the only reason they said that, law enforcement, is because they were told that. Now, this, in my opinion, is a circumstance where something was said that wasn't true, and they don't remember what they said. Like he said, allegedly. He said, well, I haven't heard that on an interview. You wouldn't need to hear it on the interview. You would know. Correct? In my opinion, and allegedly.
I mean, he's a typical teenager. He'd get up, go get snacks, and go back to his room. So
He did regularly get up at night.
Mom's saying he regularly got up at night.
Where Summer wanted to know, what's Sebastian's favorite food, drink? Is it ice cream, chips?
Anything with sugar in it.
Anything with sugar.
Favorite drink is probably a Yoo-Hoo.
No, he'd take chocolate milk over Yoo-Hoo.
Oh, well, okay. Well, chocolate drink, chocolate milk.
As
Yeah.
long as it's not the fat-free chocolate milk that the school switched to, because he's really upset that the school switched the chocolate milk to fat-free and now he doesn't like it.
Who did Sebastian love the most out of everyone?
Okay. I don't know how you want to how I'd answer that.
One day me, one day
I mean,
Chris,
he
one
may
day
not have had.
Dad. 5 minutes later, I mean, it just depends on when you ask him.
I mean, if I let him do what if I take him and go do something cool, oh, I'm the hero, you know. But when I'm getting on to him, Mom's the hero. You know, when Dad takes him fishing, Dad's the hero. So I mean, it's, you know, he's got 3 parents that love him equally.
He's loved and loves all his parents. I mean, but I mean, we all have our moments when we're not his favorite too. I mean, he's a kid.
And True Crime Cafe with Dago says, has anyone else in the family ever threatened to have Sebastian removed or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And does loud noises or certain smells bother him? Just curious, if law enforcement approached him with sirens, will he run or melt down?
He doesn't like loud noises, but they've known about that from the beginning. So, like, if it's a song he likes, he can turn the volume up, but like fireworks, he can't stand that kind of noise. So, he does have a sensitivity to sudden and loud noises, mostly.
Okay. And it said that he likes to hide in small places. Small places, can you give me an example of like what, where, like how small? Can you elaborate on that for us?
So he has a closet in his bedroom. And I mean, it's not a small closet, it's a good sized closet. He will get over and tuck into a corner in his closet
And play with his toys.
when he's playing with his toys or he's doing something he knows he's not supposed to.
There's always a pile of Legos in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this boy was going into a 2x2x2 space and hiding. I mean, he'd like to be in a secluded area.
Okay. Let's see. Beautiful Sunflower says, he said earlier he had his reason and they all agreed it was best that Sebastian not be around his daughter, and now he says that wasn't the issue. I'm confused by this statement. I guess I must have missed a part of that.
Well, to clarify what he said that he didn't have custody of his daughter, so that wasn't going to be an issue in regards to Sebastian going to live with his dad. That's not the reason why Sebastian was going to live with his dad, was so that his daughter could come and live with them.
Right. I guess I'm confused by some of these questions because I feel like it's, been answered. Let me see here. Some of these questions we have already discussed.
I can say this much. There are some screen names that I'm going to say sound familiar, and I'm not going to swear on it. They sound very familiar, of people I've addressed on Facebook.
Okay.
The Sunflower one, I'm not swearing 1,000% on this, but I believe I've chatted with her. And
Okay.
she asked me why I will not go and talk to JLR. First off, if this is the same lady that I've addressed, I am not going to people to go to a YouTube channel for somebody to make some money on, or I'm not seeking them out. If they want to talk to me, they know how to get in touch with me, just like everybody else.
Here she is, right here.
Our ultimate goal in the end is to bring our son home.
Thank you for clarifying that, Beautiful Sunflower. She said, I'm speaking of prior to his second time answering that question. He changed the answer, but it's okay. I appreciate you explaining that to me. I just didn't want to mess that up. However you were wording that question, I wanted to make sure I was being clear about what I was asking. And by the way, guys, at midnight, I cut the questions off because I don't want to keep them here all night. So, but the questions that were submitted before that, we're going to wrap those up. And if Chris is willing, we can always come back and do a part 2 if there's other questions that you feel like didn't get answered.
Dutchie.
Yes, ma'am.
You got drugged through the mud for this question, so I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
How long have you and Katie known each other?
So my question to whoever's asking that is, what does that have to do with the investigation of our son?
There you go. I did get people came for me because I didn't allow somebody to ask that question because I didn't think it was pertinent to Sebastian being missing. But
well, I mean, it really has no pertinent to the investigation or the fact that our son is missing. But like I said, I'm respectful, I'm brash, and I'm direct to the point. To answer that person's question, I've been in Sebastian's life, half of his life. Sebastian's 15.
Right. I just appreciate you being willing to talk with us and answer these questions. Now we talked about the video. I just have to ask, did you guys happen to see the interview on the behavioral panel where they took a look at your and Katie's interview on the news?
I have not. I believe the mom has made some views of it. I personally have not.
Watched it all. I haven't been online very much.
I understand.
I think since that has been out there, we really haven't done a lot of viewing of kind of that stuff. We've been out there busy doing flyers, posters, signs. I mean, wow. But yeah.
Okay. And you said that he couldn't have gone out a window, that all of that was checked, and it did not appear that he had gone out a window. And do you guys have a lock on your refrigerator? I just wanted to put that to rest.
On the fridge?
Oh, like on the refrigerator?
Yep. That's a question. Okay.
No. I mean, there's an alarm on the refrigerator when you leave the door open.
Yeah, I have one of those too. That dings when you don't shut it all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is it looks like there's a couple more questions. Some of the questions that are being asked are actually questions that we answered previously in the live stream. We did ask Chris a whole set of questions, and I just invite people to please be kind and rewind to listen to the questions that Chris and Katie were asked. And we just appreciate you guys taking the time to be here to talk about your son's disappearance and what you think may have happened, because this is a very scary situation. And we're 21 days into this. Now we're 22 days. I just can't imagine in my mind where this young man could be. And you said to me, I think we had talked on a phone conversation, and we had talked about that construction site. And I did hear Seth on a interview state that the scent that the dogs picked up actually led to the outside of that construction site, which backs up to your neighborhood. What can you tell us? Can you tell us anything about the scent dogs and where they might have tracked to, and or anything of that nature? Is there any information that you need us to know about that?
Yes, there were tracking dogs. They did pick up a scent. And I couldn't tell you how many number of dogs, because day 1, I knew of 5 dogs. By day 8, we had dogs from across the country coming in from North and South Carolina, Kentucky, all over the place. So I don't know how many dogs, but the scent was picked up. It does go into the construction site, and then it disappears. So they don't actually know what happens. They just disappears.
Okay. If there was anything that you could say to Sebastian, or if there is someone out there who is with Sebastian, is there anything that you would want to say to them right now?
You mean if someone has my son?
Keep it PG.
I would say that this boy is loved and that he has a caring and loving home and that he belongs with us, with his family, with his parents. And that I'm never going to stop looking for him and I'm never going to stop until we're able to bring him home.
For myself, Sebastian, we miss you. All three of your parents do. We all want you back home. As soon as you can, come home. If somebody has him, please return him. Don't hurt him. But we do want our son back. Please.
Where Summer said maybe someone's seen him playing outside. If he played outside, that's why I want to know if he played outside. Maybe someone's seen him.
Sebastian wasn't very much, like, he didn't go outside very much. Most of the time, all the neighbors will tell you that if they saw him, he was taking the trash out. He may have cut the grass. Last summer, he cut the grass every so often, but we were always home. But he's not really the I'm going to go outside just to go outside kind of kid.
He prefers to play inside.
Well, he prefers inside and playgrounds.
Yeah, he does love playgrounds.
Catherine, I don't see any comments being deleted. We're just not taking any more questions after midnight. I don't really see anyone that's been blocked or anything. But if you have a problem, you can always send me an email at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com and let me know.
I've got a
I have to agree. I find it alarming he's mowed the lawn. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous, but maybe I'm just overprotective, but whoa. So he said there was a scent. We know no scent led anywhere specifically directly for Sebastian. Or at least that's what we've been told. Yeah, what was the but? Please return him and don't hurt him, but we want our son home. Well, I caught that too. Good catch, Robini. I caught that too. I thought that was strange. Hi, Lisa. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Okay. I think we're almost finished. Yeah, I caught that. That's odd too. I caught that too. Good catch. You thought he was allergic to grass. Darlene, good catch. Good catch. Yes, I thought so too. Where did we hear he was allergic to grass? I heard that though. I'm going to write that down. Okay, let's continue on. We're learning a lot from this. Hi, Lisa. It's so good to have you. Thank you for being here. Okay. I want to thank Holly S. Holly, thank you for being so sweet and thoughtful and for the super sticker. You all are so kind. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Halias. That's very thoughtful. You're all very good to me. Thank you.
This, I have not heard this family one time say that he was put outside in the dark as a punishment.
Oh God, no, never.
Wait, somebody is saying that we would put our son outside in the dark as punishment?
Yeah, it was saying, so why put him outside in the dark as punishment? I've not heard that said. Sometimes when things are said like that, that's how speculation and rumors get started online. I've not heard him say that.
Who would do that?
Wow.
That is very interesting. Hey, Josh, with the lab, thank you for being here. If there was a comment deleted, it may be because we asked for people not to discuss other creators in the chat. So if someone has mentioned another creator, we ask people not to discuss other creators in the live stream. So that comment may have been removed. And everybody comments on it. You know, you're free to discuss with, or, you know, making false accusations or just making assumptions that there aren't any facts to stand behind is helping to find Sebastian. When law enforcement
you're going to have some dislikes. Every family out there is got the same, you know, working through them and becoming stronger as a family. That's what
everybody has the right to their own opinion, and everyone's welcome to share their opinion as long as they're respectful. And that's all that I ask here on my channel. And the mods have their explicit rules and they know what to do, and, you know, and that's it. So,
if you don't mind, if I could just say something.
Sure.
Everybody out there, you know, they've all got their assumptions and their accusations and things of that nature. If you have proof, bring it to my attention. Show it to me. You know, please. I mean, and like I said, I'm direct, I'm brash, but I'm respectful at the same time. It's not about biting people's heads off. You know, what I will say that I don't appreciate is how folks out there want to drag in personal family business amongst all three parents, their side of the family, my side of the family. That has no bearing on our son. You know, we're a family. It's big. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have some dislikes. Every family out there is got the same, you know, working through them and becoming stronger as a family. That's what makes a family a family. You know, I don't mind people have their opinions. I don't mind their assumptions. You know, respectful. I'm going to give you the respect. You know, in the end result for every bit of this is the exact same. To bring our son home safe and sound. And that's all we're asking. We love y'all. We pray for y'all. We got thoughts. Even if you don't like us, trust me, we still got love for you. And sometimes your questions may sound far-fetched, but believe it or not, it might be something that we could look at and say, hey, what about this? But it's not going on deaf ears. I promise y'all.
I did see a question just now that I was actually on my list to ask you, and it was when I had asked about what Sebastian was wearing, because people were saying, why are you just now saying that it's a long sleeve black t-shirt and not a black sweatshirt? And you guys had explained to me how that transpired and it didn't get changed. You had explained to them this is what he was wearing, but when they made the flyer, they put out the incorrect information, and that you had asked them to update it but they didn't immediately. And a lot of people were saying, well, they didn't even know what he was wearing. Tell me about that.
So we gave the description to all the law enforcement agencies out there. They took it and listed it.
Sure.
Now, keep in mind, let's think about the telephone game. You tell somebody something, they tell somebody something, it goes back, and by the time it comes back around to you, it is not what you initially started with. That is basically what happened. We told them verbatim was Sebastian went to bed wearing long black pants with white stripes down the side, a long sleeve shirt that had an image on the front, could have been of one of three things: Minecraft, Star Wars, or of Halloween depiction. His favorite three things. Now, somewhere along the way, that got changed, and somebody said it was a sweatshirt. Somebody said it was a hoodie. Somebody has said it's a t-shirt.
The initial description said sweatshirt, and I clarified that it was a long sleeve shirt.
Hi, Seth. Thank you so much for joining the chat. It's good to see you. I appreciate you being here. If you'd like to join us on panel, you're more than welcome to. We really just want to find answers, and we really just want to find Sebastian. And this channel is just a place for family members to be able to share any information, to clear up misinformation, and to get out the information to help bring their missing child or their missing loved one home. And I appreciate you being here. You have so many people that are praying for Sebastian, and we do have those billboards up, and we're going to hopefully maybe get another billboard up, maybe a third billboard. We've had so many wonderful people in this chat to support us keeping those billboards going for another week. And we're praying for all of you, because this can't be easy, and it's got to be very stressful. And all of these extra things that are going on can't really be helping. And Angela, you can express your opinions, but we will not allow people to just be harassing or to show blatant disrespect, doxing. We don't want people to talk badly about other creators. Those are just the general chat rules. Okay. I just appreciate you coming and speaking with us to, tell us if there's, to clear up things, because I've seen all kinds of things on social media, and, and Trev Tom, I appreciate you and the lab being here. I just wanted to go through the questions, let the chat be able to ask their questions.
And there we have it. So we learned a lot in that interview. That hit a lot of the topics that we are still discussing, correct? I hope we bring him home soon. I really, really, really do. Sebastian, Wayne, Drake, Rogers, you are so great. Let me see if there's anything I'm missing. Oh, I'm actually caught up a little bit. Yes, Caroline Miller says KP never said if Sebastian showered that night. She actually implied he would shower before going to school in another interview, allegedly. Nicey Marie thinks he went to bed in the same clothes he came home in my opinion. Oh. Yes. CP should have no knowledge of what Sebastian was wearing, as he wasn't there, was he? Was he? No, he doesn't get on panel, Grandma. Sorry, I didn't see your message. Yeah, he gave a good lecture about family. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. Sebastian's Yoda shirt he wore at Texas Roadhouse is what he was last seen in. I believe Sebastian was wearing exactly those same clothes. KP didn't check on him at all, so how would she know what he was wearing? In my opinion, lie. I think we're all thinking along the same lines, my friend Caroline. You heard they're in Louisiana right now? I've heard Virgin Islands. I've heard Louisiana. I want to thank all my mods tonight, all my guests, all my family members, new subscribers, returned subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. We learned about the little boy who was reported missing by a parent, and stepmother took off once they found him. And dad had him hidden in the basement, and dad was outed that they found him right while he was on Nancy Grace Live. That must have been planned, because the police chief was saying, well, he should be notified. He's on a live show right now. He should be notified. Very interesting. The father was only got probation and anger management classes, but did lose any rights to visit his child. So that was 10 years ago. And then we read Peter Hyatt's wonderful analysis that he put up on X. And we discussed the what we caught up on it with the Duchess, and how I thought, maybe with them saying, I sold my own, the only hint's a burner phone. Who's hiding Sebastian, those hiding Sebastian, and he's not in Tennessee, that, maybe they do believe, and I'm hoping so, that they may have someone may have put Sebastian somewhere, or Sebastian is somewhere. And it makes sense to me because they're monitoring the entries into Canada. A lot of things that point to life. So let's keep that in our minds. I so appreciate how respectful you all are. I truly do. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to pop in early tomorrow and then do my night show regular 8:30 p.m. because I am on break. So I will see you twice tomorrow. So hit your notification bells, please, and meet me tomorrow, which will be Thursday. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you all for being here. We are going to bring him home. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Talk soon, friends.